Welcome back, everyone, to Lost 5. And here we are in the Nether, where off camera I made a froglight farm through here. There's a door here to not show off how ugly it is. It is bare bones. Oh, hello. Hello, froglight farm equipment. Thank you for your frog lights. I'm really annoyed at this. They don't deliver to the note block like they should. Apparently it has to like keep going. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is put like an observer clock underneath it. But then it'd be very annoying if you want to spend any time here whatsoever. So I think I'm gonna set that up real quick. Let's see if I have observers. I don't. I only need 2. I could do some quick redstone on camera. Do I have stone anywhere? That is the question of the day. I have stone and I have fortune. I will need 16. So this farm came together when I was thinking about what to do with the base on Lost here, and I realized that one of the buildings I want to do next was going to take a lot of frog lights. So naturally I went ahead and built a frog light farm. Not realizing it would take all day. I figured, oh, I'll spend an hour or two and build this farm. Yeah, it was, let's just say, a little bit longer than that. I'm going to make use of, wrong way. I'm going to make use of this very old nether tunnel that is out of use. Well, that's still facing the wrong way. Uh-oh. That's not what I want. This is not great. Okay, I'll have to break my way in. Alright. Actually, that's not too bad, because it just kind of it's very quiet. It will definitely get annoying if you're around here for an extended period of time. But that should keep the allays targeting the note block constantly, so they won't throw the blocks at me anymore. And we got a lot. I've got 2 of each colored frog here, and I've only really just had it here running while I was working on it, so this is pretty good. This will definitely be enough to get me started today. I'm definitely gonna use the ochre frog light the most in this build that I have planned, but I'll probably end up using all of them. So I'm gonna just grab some real quick. Yeah, that should do me. I'll AFK there. Oh, patch that up. I'm definitely gonna AFK there pretty soon, so I could just get a ton of frog lights, because I don't think this is enough. It'll be enough to get me started on what I want to do, but yeah, the build I want to do, it's probably gonna take probably maybe 20 stacks total. And I also wanted to mix it in with some sea lanterns, because sea lanterns and frog lights have a similar vibe that in my opinion would work well. And I did another thing off camera the other day, is I decided I would finish all of the road work in the whole city. So I built this whole like bridge, but it won't be a bridge later on. This will go out to the back. Yeah, the back of the city, and then there will be this road and that road. That'll just make another one of these blocks. So there's better accessibility to the buildings that'll be here. But in the Pokemon games, this road and this road don't exist. And another inconsistency is that the bridge is on the wrong side. But whatever. But I finished the piers, and I'm really happy with it. I built this one the other day, since those three were finished. And once I built this one at a diagonal, I was like, oh, that looks sick. And then I looked at the other ones, and you may have noticed that these two used to be straight. I had to pretty much just tear them all out and rebuild it. And I also edited this one, but not all that much. I just made it a little shorter because I didn't like how wide it was at first. So now there's a little less space for the trapped goats to look at. That's a whole backstory that I'm not gonna get into. But yeah, now that I have these finished, the base just feels more complete, even though like I only sunk like, I don't know, 6 hours on the work here. Like, well, probably not that long, but taking things down does take a while. But yeah, my next plan of what to do is I'm gonna build a museum here as a lost tradition, since we've had a museum on every world since Lost 2. I was gonna say Lost 3, but I just remember that there was a museum in Lost 2. It wasn't all that impressive, and neither was the one in Lost 2. Well, neither was the Lost 3 or 4 museums all that impressive. Especially since the Lost 4 one was thrown together like 2 weeks before the server ended. Great time management on my part. So I'm gonna do better this time around. And this is a new building by Anymouse. He didn't get a chance to use my farm since I set that up yesterday, so he just kind of went into the Nether with a few frogs and got enough for this. Yeah, it's a nice building, but it's built to look good in RTX, which I don't have access to on my computer, so I can't see it. So if you want to see that, you'll have to look at Anymouse's video if he decides to show it off in RTX, which I assume he would, because that would make sense. You don't make something intended for it, for RTX, and then just show it off in regular Minecraft, because that's just lame. And speaking of lame, me building this, well, not that won't, I don't have means to do any sort of time lapse, so I'll have to do update reports. And speaking of time lapses, I want to do them. It's just I don't have the technology for that. I don't have a second account to do it with, or at least not easily. So this is the best you guys are gonna get. And here we go. We've got the walls of this building done. There's no interior, and I'm really happy with it. We've got all these frog lights just everywhere. Uh, I I think it's pretty faithful to how it looks in the black and white games. 'Cause if you all didn't know, I'm basing this off of a city from one of the Pokemon games, specifically black and white. And yeah, this building is meant to resemble the gym, and because it's the museum, and I'm gonna make this whole block the museum, I decided not to build a back. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a couple more like facades of buildings along the entire area here. And once that's done, I will build a kind of sprawling interior throughout the whole area that will then be able to host all sorts of artifacts from Lost 5. And so, yeah, I'm just really happy with how this turned out. The Froglight Farm was definitely the way to go, because otherwise I would have never had enough for this. Yeah. I'm definitely not gonna build anything with this much frog lights probably ever again. Um, Although I do have some left over, and they're very pretty block. I decided not to use sea lanterns like I said earlier because I don't have any. I used all of mine in the bridge over there, and I don't have a guardian farm or anything, and I can't be bothered to build one. They're just too much of a time commitment, in my opinion, and I don't have enough time for that. So yeah, I'll probably have to build a little bit of the back here, depending on how high I make the other fake buildings. So there may be some more edits to here later on. But for now, I am extremely happy with this. I'll probably get into the next building or two along here next. And then I could finish it off back there. And then, yeah, I will be back once probably the next two segments are done. So I'll see you then. And here we are, now that the entire area here is finished as far as exterior goes. I'm really happy with it. It's making the base feel way more finished, even though it's not a huge part of the base. I mean, it kind of is, but in the grand scheme of things, this is just a shell because there's so far nothing on the inside. But it looks pretty good. I'm really happy with especially how this mud building went. Yeah, I really like the texturing I used in it. And then for this one, just having it being very uniform just makes it feel like it's very solid to me. And yeah, Now the center plaza feels a little more enclosed than it used to, which is very needed as far as the base goes. And this street here, which is meant to be the alleyway, this street is completely finished, as you can walk down it in its entirety. And I'm really happy with just how narrow it is through the center here. But as far as the inside goes, there is nothing but a lot of glowstone and a lot of frog lights. And yeah, the interior is what I want to work on next. So I'm thinking I want to have a some sort of lobby room up in the front there, because that's the main like front door, and these other doors that go in are meant to be kind of like a shortcut, just like a means to get maybe to the higher floors quicker. So for example, coming in through this main door will bring you into the lobby, and then you'll have like the very main and like centerpiece attractions such as like the dragon egg and that sort of stuff, like right in the center, or maybe up a little bit. We'll see how that goes. And maybe like this just goes straight into that first room instead of like a lobby over here. And then these doors back here would have staircases that pretty much just go up immediately to some of the higher rooms. So like this one might go up like about that high. That one back there might go up to like that high, and that one might go all the way up to the top. And at the very top, I'm gonna have personalized rooms that each member on the server can build out and like decorate in the style of their base, which that's something we did in the Lost 4 museum, and it was really cool. I could probably show off some of the previous museums later on, so that you get a feel for what the previous ones looked like. Because this one is pretty spectacular just from the exterior on itself. I am so happy with how this has turned out. I put much more thought into how I wanted the skyline to look, and Anymouse has just been wandering through here the last like 2 days when I've been working on this. This is the most progress I've gotten in such short time. Yeah. This week I've built out all of the ports, the docks. I made a frog light farm, and I built this. And that's starting on Monday. And today is Friday. Yeah, definitely the most work I've ever put into the city in just a 1 week span. I think that's part of the challenge of it. I just want to see how much can I get done here in 1 week. Yeah. Everything else has taken me forever. That was the first building, and that was probably done a year ago at this point. I did take a very long break from the base last summer, especially since I was always on trips and out of town. Didn't have enough time to work on anything substantial. I spent most of my time planning out how Wheat Tycoon would work. And I've gotten so many ideas that have also been suggested by the other guys. Or that game I'm I'm really excited for once it's fully done, since it's just barely in a playable state. And that's gonna take probably a couple more months to get to a point where I'm happy with it. With or as far as like the gameplay goes, I'm really happy with the way it looks, but the way it plays is definitely lacking currently. But anyway, I'm gonna get to work on the interior of the museum. So let's get into it. All right. Yeah, most of the interior for the first floor is done, and I think this is where it is currently on the inside is where I'm going to leave off this video. But before I do that, I'm gonna take a quick look at the inside. Right here, we've got a nice waiting room or lobby area for visitors of the museum to come in and maybe like wait for people that they're gonna go tour the museum with. This is also where people can donate items for the museum. So this stuff here has yet to be put into the museum because there's not a exhibit for that. But in the first room here, we've got the place for the dragon egg. There will most likely be more things in this room later on, but currently it's really just the dragon egg. And out here, we've got a door to this side. So if you want to skip the lobby room and just go straight in, you can go through here. Same with on this side, but you also have upstairs access to an upstairs that doesn't exist. So yeah, as you can see, there's an exhibit there. But if you go this way, you come into this room. It's got a lot of art. I'm not sure if I am going to put really anything, like any items in here. And if I do, they'll be just kind of miscellaneous stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else. Right here is one more entrance slash exit. And going up here, we come to a very unfinished area. I have a staircase plan. I'm going to put a room here, but I'm not entirely sure what I want to put here yet. Some sort of exhibit that can fit some of the stuff in that barrel down there. And off this way, there is the main staircase, which is accessible through here, as you saw earlier. And it's pretty bland, but it gets you up. I added this little tiny exhibit with the all the hard to get banner stencils. I could also put the globe banner stencil on here, but I don't know what sort of item I would put above it to represent the globe. So until I think of something, I'm not gonna put it up. Or you guys in the comments can let me know what item I should use for that. That would be greatly appreciated. And then coming up here, we make our way into the Deep Dark exhibit, where a lot of this stuff came from the Deep Dark. So we got Enchanted Apple, Music Disc 5, and also Other Side, which I found like 6 of them in my first ancient city. So I thought I might as well put one in here also, so you can listen to a banger while in here. Here we've got a Swift Sneak 3 book that I renamed. It is an actual Swift Sneak 3 book, so it's not fake. I decided to throw in a Shrieker just for fun. But we've got 3 Sculpt Catalysts from this one time where the Obliviator and Stunning Wheel and we decided, oh, let's just kill a few Wardens. So Yeah, we each kept one and renamed one. So this is the one I did. Who's the warden now? This is the one the Obliviator did. Yep. Hashtag punched an ugly face to death. And Stunning Wheel did this one. Warden down. I'm going to have another room break off here. And I'm probably going to have that room down there and the room that's going to be up here connect in some way. But that'll have to come later because I've been making this video for too long. And then up here at the top, I've got space for a room here. No real plans for what exactly I want to do for like any rooms that have not been done. But one thing I do know is that near the top, I'm going to have exhibits for each member of the server to build out and like build in the theme of their base, so it can be their personal room that they'll put all sorts of cool goodies that are specifically theirs into those rooms that wouldn't fit really anywhere else. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this museum is going on. But before I go, I think I might want to address what has been going on the server lately. So, Anymouse sent out a video saying like we are out of money, and explained this really horribly. So I thought I'd do a better job. So basically, in Anymouse's basement, there's a rift thing that was like a very common thing back in Lost 4. But Lost 5 has only had a couple instances where people were using them. I myself haven't used one since Lost 4. And he needs money to help contain this rift. Or I guess just diamonds. And according to him, the town that he lives in makes enough money for itself, but it doesn't have enough to fund the Rift project. So it needs income from this building and the building back here. Yeah. But this one was unfinished by the time the whole event started. So only a minuscule amount of funds are coming from here. So he's writing lore like the employees here are demanding we demand raises independence. Okay, I don't know what that means. That sign has changed, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, they're asking for more money from me, which is strange because this is a capitalist nation and the government doesn't pay the people. That's not how it works. But he's asking for me as some sort of government to fund the people, to give them more money so that the people here can give their government more money, which doesn't exactly make a whole lot of sense, but whatever, we'll go with it. And then to incentivize me giving money, he built planes in the sky up there, not all too different than the one that is on top of Stunning Wheel's building. Well, they're much simpler than this one. But yeah, they're flying overhead, and I took it as a form of hostility, because that's basically terrorism, coming over a civilian population, which is against the Geneva Convention, according to Sarcastic Uton, who only decided to start playing Lost when this whole stuff started, and it meant that he could use his superior intellect of knowing the Geneva Convention from front to back. So I'm trying to appeal a court case to Anymouse about attacking a civilian population. So we'll likely have a court case at Stunning Will's base, since he made a courtroom there, just in case we would use one, because we had one in Lost 3 that ended up being used. So we're like, hey, let's make one in Lost 4, but that one didn't end up being used. But we will likely have a chance to use this one here in Lost 5. Yeah. And in case some sort of war breaks out, I've made a countermeasure. So I've made a airbase over here. And I decided not to record any of it because I didn't think of actually talking about it until like just now. But I thought I might mention it. I don't think I'll really go into depth, but I just think that Anymouse's video needs some clearing up to, to make more sense. But yeah, this area is not done, but it has enough done to be used. As you can see here, I have relocated the planes that he set up over my base. They've been seized and placed in these hangars. And yeah. I'm not really sure what else is gonna happen. You'll have to watch Anymouse's video, because I'm sure you'll cover it. What he's gonna do. Yeah, it's just kind of interesting what's been happening. Yeah, I think it's about time I wrap up this video, since I've been working on it for like 2 weeks. Because like halfway through production, I decided, I don't want to record anything. I mean, I was clearly still at work inside the museum, but instead I was like, yeah, I'll just record a Halo Reach video, which I'm going to edit next, where, yeah, I play Halo Reach with Anymouse in that video. It's his first time playing through the campaign, so look out for that one. It's a lot of fun, especially the mission Exodus. Very, very amusing. Yeah. I'm gonna end this video before I bore any of you guys to death with my rambling. So, yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Alright, you may begin the fight.
Alright.
Who will win this? Find out in the next episode. Hold on.
Yeah, find out next episode. Who wins the duel?
To be continued.
Da, 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 da.
I don't think Anymouse is gonna.
I mean, my strat here is unparalleled. It's not. I don't think this is going so well for you.
I will win.
I don't think you will. Yep, that's about what I expected.
I can tell you now. So basically, I've decided to move out of my base.
That's kind of what I thought you'd do, honestly.